Welcome to Zone In Sports, where we cover everything, all sports. Today, I have a friend here that's tapped into both college and NFL football. Digs into numbers, is going to give it to you straight. Welcome, my buddy, longtime friend, Luke, to the show. How's it going out there, Luke?
It's going all right, man. How you been doing?
All right, man. I can't complain, man. We finna get this cracking today, though, boy. Uh, we're gonna start off with what the NFL should have done at the
Okay.
beginning and give the number one draft pick, the best player in the draft, his flowers. They gonna cut off and gonna talk about the Shador and all that stuff. They didn't want to show no pictures, but we're gonna talk about Cam Ward here. Cam Ward had an excellent season at the U. It's all about the U right here, baby. Not for Luke, but for me. Okay. So we're gonna tap in and we're gonna let you guys know that best player in the draft, in my opinion. Some people would debate some other players, a guy out of Penn State, a duel, and some other players. But to me, best player in the draft chosen number one by Tennessee. I can say that Tennessee made a wise choice. What do you say about Cam Ward there?
Cam Ward, I like Cam Ward. I like Cam Ward. I hope Tennessee gives him more than 2 years to develop like they've been doing Will Levis and the other quarterback they had before Will Levis. You know, they didn't really give him a chance to get their feet wet, but I think that was a good pick by Tennessee. That's what they needed. That's what they needed, starting over.
Right.
They're doing pretty good right now. I like
Yeah.
that.
And the whole thing with the Cam thing, I think since they got the person that they really wanted, I think they're going to build around them. And I think they're going to put some pieces together. You know, they still got some pieces they got to put together because offensively they struggled, of course, last year. Cam is a gunslinger, and Cam's gonna. He's not afraid. A lot of people that didn't watch him, a lot of them at the University of Miami, and I heard all the people in my DMs talking about, "Oh, we going off the JUCO stats from Cam." Cam played in the ACC, but they keep forgetting Lamar Jackson played in the ACC. You know, ain't nobody
True.
saying nothing bad when Lamar came out the ACC. I mean, I know he slid in the draft a little bit, but balled out in the ACC.
Yes, he did.
Uh, and they
Won the
talk about,
Heisman. He won the
yeah,
Heisman in the ACC.
yeah, and talk about, you know, his time at Washington State and, of course, his fumble problems. But one thing I would say about Cam, every year he got better. No matter where he was at, he got better every year. And I think Tennessee is they got a guy here that's not afraid, that takes accountability, and is going to uplift his players. So that's all I want to say about the number one overall pick. I thought the NFL kind of did a crappy job. Just getting into the Shador thing, and not most number one picks come out there. You see all kinds of footage and film. You didn't even see none of that at camp. You just seen them walk out. Yeah, you know, they just talk about the trade, and then next thing you know, we start talking about Shador. But we're gonna segue into the Shador, and before we go to the number two pick, and I'm gonna tell you guys something on the Shador, and Luke could tell you. I told him about 3 weeks ago. I told him that Jackson Dart would go before Shador. He called me crazy, guys, out there. But he called me crazy. But I told him he would go before him. And my reasoning is that I felt that Jackson Dart played in a tougher conference. He had been tested. I know he got a big arm. He made some mistakes, don't get me wrong. I just thought that overall he was ready, just with the competition he faced. It's not taking anything away from Shador to go in the NFL. Oh, what do you say about, are you shocked that Jackson Dart went before Shador?
Yeah, I'm real shocked that Jackson Dart went before Shador. But I think if Shador wouldn't have played for his father and played at Colorado, you can put Shador in Miami. You can put Shador in Ole Miss. And I think you would get the same or probably even better results from Shador than Jackson Dart. Not maybe Cam Ward, but they'd be right around the same numbers.
Right.
But I think Jackson Dart was a product of his offense.
Yeah.
Shador didn't have an O-line.
Yeah.
He had to scramble out. He had to do the best he could with it. And I thought Shador would. him and Cam Ward, I fought back and forth between 1 and 2.
Right.
The other quarterbacks I didn't see even in their league.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I saw, and a lot of people, would say I was hating on Shador, which I wasn't. I thought Shador was credible for what he had. My problem is that I thought if you struggle with a bad line in college, what are you going to do if you went to the Giants, which had a bad line? That was always my knock about if he's struggling with making reads with a bad line, he's going to come in and go to the Giants, which had a historically bad line, and play better. He's going to get his head beat in like he was before. Now, to slide out the first round, I didn't see all that coming. I could tell you that. I didn't, in all honesty, I just didn't see it coming. It's not surprising, but I didn't see it coming. I'm just going to be honest with you guys out there. It's a lot of factors for that. And I think a lot of people are not understanding why he's sliding, in my opinion. They're not understanding that the NFL is a business. That they can talk about him being brash and unapologetic and all. You can say all you want about all that, but you ain't going to your job saying I'm unapologetic and all this stuff and thinking you're going to get hired. It's the same thing in football. People get it twisted. It's these teams here. If you got to go before an interview with them, you got to interview to get the job. I mean, I'm not saying you can't be yourself, but you got to play the game. You're not bigger than the game in the NFL. I've told you that time after time again. And I just think that a lot of people that support Shador is not really, I would say this, they giving him the same advice that they gave Nico out of Tennessee, that you think you're bigger than the system, and you're not. And so when I look at the Shador, I was surprised. Do you think, I'm actually honest opinion, you think his dad helped or hurt him in the draft?
I think it hurt him because of who Dion is. I don't think it hurt him as Dion promoting him.
Okay.
I think it was because of who Dion is and his presence.
Okay.
Look at it as like what was his name? LeVar Ball.
Yeah.
It's like the LeVar Ball whole situation where you have your kid. Shador to me is good, the same way that Lonzo was good.
Right.
But I think with Dion being there, the teams are more afraid of the coach is more afraid.
Right.
If they get off to a bad start, or Dion's coming to coach's son, or they just worried about that. It's not the play on the field, because on the play on the field, Shador showed you he can play football.
Right.
Bad line, good line. And I think that it's more his dad hurt him because of who he is. Not to get off the question, but it's more.
Well, yeah. I'm torn always with the Dion factor because, again, I know a lot of people they call me a hater. And one thing I would tell you that, when you start getting up from high school to college to this, and we got to understand how ESPN market people and how it's okay for Dion to be brash and go on game day and all that stuff with college football.
Mm-hmm.
NFL is totally different. The NFL these owners are billionaires. They can give a damn. And all they want you to do is come in here and play football.
Right.
They don't you're not going to go up there and be flashing watches and all that. And I'm not saying Shador would have done that in the league, because, you'll get fined in the league doing all this extracurricular stuff. So I'm not saying he would do that. But the teams that's looking at him, when I looked at it, it was a small quarterback pool. They have some things that, when I look at it, I was super shocked. What's up there, 805 K's? Hey, we in here today. Hey, tomorrow we're going to do an all Miami segment. But today we're going to chop it up about these draft picks of the first round. And we just starting this off about the Dion thing. And like I said, I just think that a lot of people that's fans of Shador is not looking at the big picture from a a business standpoint.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it's all about when you're not looking at it from the business standpoint of why he's sliding. Because they say, well, he's got the talent. Yeah, there's a lot of people got talent that don't
he
get drafted high. You know, he's going to get drafted. You know, oh, well, man, they're trying to humble him. It might be some truth to that. You know, I mean, I don't know. I'm not in this room. I think they don't want the distractions. That's what I'm really thinking.
That could be true too. And I think it's gonna work out better for him going later, more of a Tom Brady type deal. Right. Going later, he gonna have that chip on his shoulder. And once he get to play, I think he's gonna shine. I mean, I think he's gonna go to a better team, and I think he's gonna shine. And I will say if the Vikings didn't draft McCarthy last year, that's all I'm saying.
Well, I'll tell you this. I think it did better for him to sit. I didn't actually think he was a day one starter. My personal opinion. A lot of people think he was. So, I mean, and that's the thing when I tell people, again, with a first round draft pick, is that you're looking for those guys to come in and start day one. I'm gonna put this comment up here. It says somehow they say he had a bad interview. I don't understand how you can fake it until you. I don't understand how you can't fake it until you make it. Just like when you. Hey, that's what I've been saying. So just like I've been saying that, a lot of people will say, "Oh, you a sellout." The hell with that. You trying to get a job.
Trying to get paid.
You trying to get paid. And you know what? They all got to answer to somebody. Yep. If you don't believe me, look at Shannon Sharpe. You can say what you want. And I'm not even fit to go there, but I'm just saying, you got to answer to somebody. They start pulling sponsorships, you answering to somebody. Right. Look at, if we want to go to football, Colin Kaepernick. You can do what you want to do. Mm-hmm. Whether you agree with him taking a knee or not, you got to answer to somebody. Found yourself out the league. Now, if that's your choice, hey, bro, I'm cool with it. But you got to answer to somebody at your job. So,
yeah, somebody signing that check.
Somebody he said, my man said, he said, hell no, I'm telling them whatever they need to hear. Hey,
hey, me too.
Hey, when it comes to billion, hey, 805K, they gonna call you a sellout, man. But hey, we go. He say Shannon Sharpe got a snow bunny addiction. But that's all I'm saying. And I say Shedeur, a hell of a player. He go get drafted. I just think that it's just some things there that a lot of people not understanding, and they're trying to stand on this side of it's a racial issue. And I just don't subscribe that it's a racial issue. I just think that if anybody look, when Tim Tebow came in the league and he started kneeling and everything, look how divisive that got in the league. That got really divisive. A lot of people don't want to talk about that. I mean, it was people talking about not watching Tim Tebow because he was kneeling.
Right.
You know, and let's just be honest about it. You know, now did it ultimately? Well, I don't even know where Tim Tebow went in the draft. I have to look that up.
He went in the first round of Denver.
He went in the first round of Denver. Okay.
First round, I want to say he was like number 15 or something, but I mean, that's who Josh McDaniel wanted. Hey, he got his quarterback. I mean,
yeah. I mean, if that's what you want, you want to put with it.
They want you, they're gonna take you. So, you know, so.
And like I said, they're gonna eventually take them, and that's crazy. I got a question for you. What's your favorite player in the draft?
And my favorite player in the draft is Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter, okay.
No doubt. Travis Hunter. Because he goes both ways. He gives you 100% on both sides of the ball. And he don't take a snap off. He plays football like we used to play when we were kids. You play offense, drink some water, go play some defense. Yeah. Come back on the field. You know.
I like Travis too. I ain't a big Colorado fan, but I do like Travis. And of course, you know, mine, of course, is Cam Ward. Of course, you know, he had that moxie, like you said. He telling cats where we running the ball at. He going back there just slinging that thing and talking trash. A lot of people don't like trash talking. Some people do. But hey, I mean, he was out there. And if it wasn't for that bad defense, and everybody, you know, they want to knock Shedeur for having a bad defense. Hell, Miami defense wasn't that much better. Shit, let's just be honest about it, you know. But that's the whole thing. Their defense wasn't that much better, but people seen the arm talent in Cam, you know, a lot more.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I'm trying to say. In the first round, what player do you think that probably shouldn't have been drafted in the first round? And if they shouldn't have been, who should they have taken?
Man, first round. Hold on, let me see something real quick because I gotta look at that real quick.
I'm gonna tell you mine right now, and there's no shade against it because I watched a lot of them. It's Teotero McMillan. I really think Luther Burden should have went before him.
Oh, the wide receiver, he went to,
from Arizona.
Where did he go to? Carolina?
No, Luther Burden?
No.
Oh, yeah, he went to Arizona.
Luther Burden
I mean, Carolina. Yeah, he went to Chicago.
Luther Burden went to Chicago.
But I think Luther Burden should have went before him. That's just my personal opinion. You know, some may agree, some may not. Matter of fact, in the chat, who in the first round y'all think that shouldn't have went first round? Some people gonna say Jackson Dart. So
I'm gonna say shouldn't have went in the first round, but went in the first round too early.
Okay.
And that's Ashton Genty. I believe that he went too early in the first round. Do I think he's a exceptional talent? Yes.
Okay.
But in the top 10 for a running back that played in the WAC, you know, that I had an argument with one of my buddies the other day about him. And I'm like, I wouldn't draft him in the top 10 to me because he played in the WAC. If you put him when he played once he played a team in the Big Ten, Penn State, my team, it took him like 30 carries to get 100 yards. Where he was running through the WAC rampant.
Right.
Now you're going against the elite of the elite in the NFL. You're not playing, you know, people that run 6-second 40s.
So who would you have taken if you wouldn't have took Ashton Genty?
Man, Las Vegas, they need positions everywhere. They rebuilding. They could have went on the defensive side of the ball. Will Johnson. They say he got a shoulder problem and a foot problem. I would have took him. I love him at cornerback. And they already got Brock Bowers at tight end. So they could have took a receiver. I mean, if they Luther Burden, I mean, that guy might have been kind of high for him. They could have.
Do you think it's a back better than Ashton Genty?
Man,
or you think he the best back that's coming out?
Ashton Genty is probably Travion Henderson is the best back that came out this year, running back that came out this year.
Okay. Travion Henderson.
Ohio State.
Yeah, I know who he is.
He ended up going to New England, which I think is great for that ball club.
Right.
I think he's the best running back. And then you have the guy from North Carolina.
Hampton. Yep.
You know, and
Hampton Beast. Somebody put me on to him. Actually, I hadn't watched a lot of film on him, and I went back a couple of weeks ago because in one of the lives we were talking about Hampton, and I said, "Man, I just didn't watch a lot of North Carolina football." Yeah, but boy, be beasting.
Oh yeah, and you know, I watch a few things on YouTube, like with the Vikings and stuff, and they brought him up as a possible pick for them. So I went and watched some of his highlights and stuff, man. And the dude runs hard. Yeah, he runs hard. So
he said, "I agree with you on the Genty pick." He said he's going to be a flop or be a god. So, but I ain't finna rock with you on this one. 805. He said he almost would have took Scatterboo. I said I like Scatterboo. I ain't sold on Scatterboo yet. But but good.
But Scatterboo runs hard though. He
run hard. He run hard.
But is he an every down back or is he just like a goal line back?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just gotta, some of these guys you just gotta see them.
He just got drafted by the Giants.
The Giants. Yeah.
So I mean, that 1-2 punch up there with Tracy, they might have a little something going on.
Yeah.
Years with that defense, and you got Neighbors, Dart, Jackson Dart. You got
Dart gonna sit for a while, and I mean that's what people don't understand. Like, That's how I knew he wasn't going to the Giants, and I'm talking about Shador. It's because when you brought in Russell and then you brought in Jameis,
Yeah.
you wasn't going to beat out neither one of those two. And then on top of that, you got the pressure of the New York fans going to be hollering, we want Sanders. And, so it's just a lot of just different things that I hear people say, well, you got to be a strong coach and you don't need those distractions when you're trying to win.
But you don't think going to sit behind Russ and Jameis would have did him some good?
I think it would have did it excellent if they would have brought him. The problem I thought was, would it have been okay with him and his camp? That's the problem.
I think it would have Hamp, because if you look at it, Jackson Dart probably gonna do the same thing. He gonna sit behind both of them for the majority of the year.
Right. At least this year he'll sit, yes.
And with that coach being on the hot seat, they gonna try to win. So either Russ or Jameis gonna play.
Right.
Most likely Russ. So I think then come in next year, that would have put Shador in line to be the starter. So because I think they both signed 1-year contracts.
Yeah.
So
like I said, it's just a lot of, I think he would have got, especially being in the Big Apple, Shador the Big Apple. I just think that, man, that was going to be a recipe for a lot of crazy stuff happening. That's all I can say. It'd have been a good show. I can tell you that much.
But not to compare him to Eli. Eli handled it pretty good, and he had a brother and a father that was
but they daddy wasn't like Arch, wasn't like Dion. No, I mean, he said some stuff, but this is the thing. Arch was navigating, even though he says a little publicly, he was navigating a lot of stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah.
To get that trade pulled off. People was rumbling about him, and who did he get traded for?
He got traded for Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers.
San Diego.
Yeah. And it was some rumblings about that. So, but it was kind of behind the scenes until it started breaking. And then after then, he kind of was kind of quiet on the set about it. But Dion, he coming like this, which, hey, I'm cool with the way Dion doing it. It's just, you got to understand it. It's a reaction, an action and a reaction to everything.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm saying. He says he was surprised. I was surprised that Junkins went in front of Henderson. Yeah,
me too.
Yeah.
Henderson can do it all. Yeah, and that's what I like about Henderson. He can do it all. Junkins is more of just power. I mean, he got a little speed, but you got to have a whole like 170. You know what I'm saying? He just needs something.
And when I'm looking at these skill players just in the first round, just going down to skill players here. Okay, of course, you got Cam Ward. We can count you got Travis Hunter. Of course, he played both sides of the ball. Now, I do like the Abdul Carter. I was confused. I was wondering why Cleveland did. I understand now, but I really thought that they would take Abdul Carter and put him on the other side of Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been deadly, boy.
Yeah, I thought they were too, but I like Mason Graham.
Yeah.
Because now you got that defensive tackle.
Yeah.
That's going to be freeing up them linebackers. I think that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah. So, and then the tackle the right tackle out of Missouri, they have been talking about him all year. Said he was just a beast, was just a straight beast. So, and then, like I say, Tetatero, McMillan, he had a good year. I'm not going to take anything away from him. I just thought that it was other receivers that probably should have went before him.
Yeah.
I was surprised that they didn't take the tight end out of QB. I mean, out of Penn State before they took what's it?
It was Chicago.
Loveland. Yeah, I was surprised that Barris took Loveland, didn't take the Penn State tight end, but I guess Loveland, he could catch, do a little blocking. So
yeah, but he ain't Ty Warren.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was shocked, because Tyler Warren that boy, hey, he can get it. I mean, he can line up in the backfield. You can split him out. He kind of like a Brock Bowers when you look at.
He played a little bit of quarterback last year. I mean,
I was really shocked that they did that, but hey, that is what it is. But
I guess
the coach got a good one.
Well, you got what's his name, the coach for the Bears right now, Johnson, is that his name? Johnson, the guy that came from Detroit. He kind of fits what they have up in Detroit.
Okay.
You know, gimmick plays and get the tight end involved, like the guy from Iowa, LaFleur. So I mean, I can see why they took Loveland over Tywan, but I think Tywan gonna be a good fit in Indianapolis.
Yeah, I think he gonna be good. And then we're gonna go down. We got some edge rushers. Jalen Walker. Now, the whole thing with a lot of these Georgia guys coming out. Now, we know Georgia defense was down last year. They gave up a lot. I mean, they wasn't the defense of 2 years ago. So I think some of these guys going off potential, to be honest with you. But we're going, so I don't know.
But going off potential and off of what the Eagles did with the Georgia players. Because, the Eagles, the last few years, the Eagles been taking nothing but Georgia players. And they've been turning out perfect. So everybody else want to get in on it. So
and I like Ibuka. I think he stood. So I mean, Tampa Bay, you have to, like I say, with Godwin being hurt, coming off the what did he do? Tear his ACL?
He tore his ACL.
Yeah, and
so let me ask you a question, Hamp. Do you think Ibuka should have went before McMillan?
Ooh.
Yeah,
I do. I do. In all honesty, he says 6 running backs been taken already today. Whoever gets Damian Martinez is getting a steal. Yeah, I think so too. Damian Martinez, if you guys don't know, out there running back from Miami, absolute bruiser. I think what hurt Damian, in my opinion, is that they just didn't run the ball a lot this year at Miami. So you didn't get to see a lot of him like you got to see Genty and some of the other guys. But what you saw of him, now you can go back to his Oregon clips and watch him, but before he transferred. But I just think that that's going to be a good pickup because especially if you need a guy to run between the tackles, physical, and he can get it. And so and then we got to go. Let's see here. Got tackles. Okay, we talked about Omarion Hampton, great receiver. Matthew Golden, Texas. That's a decent pick. I thought he was.
I think he was drafted more because of his 40 time than anything, though.
Yeah, I would say I thought he was good.
I mean, is he better than Luther Burden? No.
I don't think he's better than Luther. That's what I said. That's been mine. Hey, I texted the guy this today, bro. He said, bro, my boss is a gigantic Seahawks fan. Sorry for him. But I told him last night, boy, you got one. His stats would have been insane if he hadn't been injured for 2 years. Yeah, he's talking about Arroyo, tight end from Miami. I mean, there's nothing bad you could say about Arroyo. So, I mean, dude, a beast and stuff. I was shocked. He was another one I was shocked because it was projected he was going to go high second round. They took two?
What did he fall to, the third?
They took 3. No, he went second. Yes. Did he go yesterday? No, hold on. Let's see here. I think he went late second, but let's double check here.
I'm looking right now too. Yeah, he went number 50. He went 50. Yeah.
So late second, and I think 3 tight ends went before him. 4, no, 3 or 4. But anyway, I was shocked that he did fall because I was tapped into a lot of Miami stuff, and he was projected to go high second. But you know how the draft is; people start. Like I said, you just never know the fits. Some people don't need a wide receiver that can stretch the field. They want more of a blocking tight end that fits. Right. So it just gets a little tricky when you get in there. And that's another thing when I tell people when you're dealing with ESPN spin, you can't get caught up into what they saying all the time, of guys that's going to get drafted and how they falling because they look at it just straight skill players. They ain't talking about offensive linemen when they doing their pre-drafts and all that stuff like that. So, a lot of them get kind of skewed.
Hey, not to get off subject, but back to Arroyo. Is he an inline blocker? Because I know up in Seattle they like to run the ball. So is he like one of them inline tight ends?
He can, but no. to me, my personal opinion, he more of a pass receiver that can block.
Okay.
You know, so you're not going to line him up in a power odd situation to tell him to blow guys off the ball. But can he be that physical? I think he can, you know. So it's just one of those things when you get the league, you got to understand, like say, you're not bigger than the team. If they want you to block, you got to be a willing blocker, you know.
Right.
But I mean, you're not going to find a lot of tape on Arroyo just blowing guys off the ball. I mean, you're just not, just to be honest. But just his skill set, and he a matchup nightmare for guys that if you split them out, you know. So, you know, that's going to be the thing with him. It's just getting into camp, working hard. I think he gonna be fine, and I think he gonna make a difference. So, with that, let's go back to this first round here.
Yeah, that's what I was just doing, looking to see where we were at.
I know he didn't just say this about Georgia players. I don't mean to laugh, but he said, when you drafted Georgia players, you better go make them get driver's ed classes.
No, that's Alabama. That's Alabama.
That's Alabama, yeah. Alabama that has some problems too over there, but hey,
that's Bama he talking about.
Hey, is it crazy that Miami still get this reputation, and look what the heck going on at Alabama and Georgia? Kirby Smart that had to stop giving press conferences and everything. Hell, even Sarkisian, hell, remember he got drunk at a damn press conference. That what got him out the job. So
he got drunk and fell asleep at the stoplight.
So
been there, done that. So
oh man, so we got a warrior. We got Jackson Dart, which a lot of people thought that Jackson Dart probably should have been in the first round. And I'm gonna say this about quarterbacks to everybody out there. I watch a lot of film. I watch a lot of college football. Yeah, actually more college football than NFL. But for the guys that stay in their bubble, and I mean either it's the Shadura bubble or the Cam bubble or whatever bubble you might be in, get out and watch other quarterbacks play. Don't just watch it where they play certain players. It's a reason why some of these quarterbacks, because we could say the same thing about Shadura falling, Earstenfeld, the quarterback from Ohio State that slid. I mean, so it's some good quarterbacks out there that's sliding down the line, you know? So I just want people to understand that if you ain't seen some of these good quarterbacks out there and you stuck on what they're going to put on, they're going to put the best football game on TV. So you're not watching some of these other guys play. You're not watching Omarion Hampton out of North Carolina. You might would have this year with Belichick being there, you know, but you know what I'm saying? So you're not watching some of these guys that's coming out of SMU or wherever, or what's my man that got drafted out of
North Dakota State? You talking about that?
Yeah, or Central Florida? Was it Central Florida?
No, it was one that got drafted out of North Dakota State, and the other one got, where was he?
Oh, his name gonna come to me. Hold up here. I think he was out of was it USF?
I know you're talking about the lineman, right?
No, he was hold up, I'm gonna find him here.
Because I know what lineman he
might have went.
Was it second round?
Third round. Let's see here. Oh no, here he is. Yeah, RJ Harvey. Yeah, running back out of UCF. Yeah.
UCF. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you ain't seen RJ Harvey play, like I said, you looking at UCF like, I mean, but the boy, he was beasting out there. Yeah, that's right. Hey, I'm with you on that high road. Yeah, he said Luther Burden gonna ball. Yes, sir. We already saying that. We represent this from the Midwest, and
hey, long as he ball against Detroit and Green Bay, not against
you said long as he hey,
I'm good with it.
Right. Hey,
I actually met him at the scouting combine.
Okay.
Here in Indianapolis. So he saw my St. Louis hat and hat me up and talked to me for a hot second. Good dude. So
yeah,
you know.
I hate to even bring this up, but since we're talking about Luther Burden, did Dominic Lovett make a mistake going to Georgia and not staying with Luther?
Well, they played the same position. So, and they wanted to put Burton out there. So, and to me, Lovett was more of a slot receiver like Burton, not an outside. So I think he did the right thing by going to Georgia because at that time Georgia had a lot of receivers leaving.
Yeah,
he was. I mean, it ain't like Lovett is bad. I think Lovett is good.
Lovett dropped a whole hell of a lot of passes. Shit, that boy
that
had brick heads out there. Let's come on, let's keep it real.
He is a good receiver.
Okay,
he's a good receiver.
Lovett was out there brick ahead, and boy, matter of fact, if I see a Georgia receiver shouldn't even go in the first couple of rounds. In the first, I should have seen a Georgia receiver come out to the 5th round.
I ain't saying he's gonna be drafted, up in the first 4, but free agent at the end of the draft, undrafted free agent.
Right.
Somebody gonna get a good slot receiver.
Yeah.
I think he good. So
hey, I'm just saying I don't think any Georgia receiver should go before the 6th round. All them damn drops they was doing out there this year, So, but that's just
he was a quarterback. He was worried about what is it? TikTok, Instagram, whatever he was on.
Oh yeah, I mean,
he transferred.
Get the hell out of that. We don't want no damn Luther Bird to go to Dallas. Shit, the hell with Dallas. he said he wanted Luther Bird to go to Dallas, but hey, you want him to go to?
He played the same position as CD Lamb.
Yeah, he would have got on the field there.
Yeah, he's 2 slot receivers out there because CD Lamb ain't an outside receiver. He's a slot. He's more of a slot.
Luther Bird fired right where he at with nail polish boy. That's what I call him. With the nail polish.
That wide receiver core they got though in Chicago.
Yeah. Hey, I always for you guys out there don't get. I'm just joking about Caleb. But man, got to let the doggone nail polish go, man. I see them get hit so hard one time last year. I think they knocked that crap up off of him, boy. They was turning his ass off the frame.
Like I said, they putting something together in Chicago. Just hope they don't put it together against Minnesota.
Yeah,
that's all.
No, he didn't just say, "Oh man," he said, "My man's son paints this." Oh, y'all something else out there in the chat. All right, so we got a D tackle, and a safety. That Texas safety, Andrew, was it not? Man, how you pronounce his last name? Mancuba. I thought he was pretty good. So, and that was 2nd round. I'm sorry, was that 2nd round I was in? I was meant to go first, back into the 1st round.
Yeah, I was in the 2nd.
He said, somebody else put up here. He said, Georgia's wide receiver should be undrafted. I told y'all, man. Look, I support all Midwest talent, but them boys was out there breaking it up, man. Ain't no secret, man. Them boys couldn't catch, man. Ain't no damn way a Georgia wide receiver should be in the first 5 rounds for damn sure.
Man, but undrafted, good Lord.
Hey,
let him get a 3-year check or something.
Hey, look, if they don't take, they better take my boy Restrepo before they take any of them bums from Georgia.
I'm shocked he ain't been drafted yet.
Yeah, I think what hurt Restrepo was his 40 time. But my thing of it is he always got open. So.
He reminds me of the wide receiver for the Chargers that they got right now. The little slot guy, Restrepo does.
Oh yeah. Not Ladd McConkey.
Yeah, Ladd McConkey. He
reminds
me of Ladd McConkey.
Yeah,
just bigger version of him.
Yeah,
but, I would take him in Minnesota.
Yeah. It says Georgia wide receivers should be undrafted and undriving 7 arrested 18 months. Yeah, hey, something going on in Georgia. I don't know what. Look, they need to put a club down there or something, man. I don't know what the hell going on down there, man.
That's the NIL money, getting them fast cars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. They going just acting a damn fool, man. Man, prayers up to Elijah Arenas too. While I'm thinking about it, man.
Oh yeah.
My man was in that horrific accident out there, man, and I just hope that the family pulls through and that the young man come back okay, because I watched a lot of film on him playing basketball. Side note, man, boy, a beast. So
yeah.
Side note.
So what you think about the Eagles getting that linebacker from Alabama to add to that linebacking core.
Yeah.
You know, that's just
The Eagles stacking up, man. The Eagles, they
somebody
stacking that
needs to.
defense up, man. They just, man, they putting some boys out there.
Yeah, they need to start hiring from their scouting crew or something, because whoever doing the scouting there need a raise.
Right. So you got
Because
Jaden Higgins went to the Texas, and I think a lot of that got to do with Tank Dale being hurt a little bit
yeah,
and everything. So we just we don't know how he's going to come back, and that was interesting on that. We already
yeah,
talked about.
and that was to me, that was, you know, you got him and Nico Collins together. They just need to get their offensive line straight.
Yeah.
They didn't trade it almost everybody off their offensive line. They traded Tunsil.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I guess they getting some pass catchers because
they need it. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody getting hurt every year.
Yeah, because and Tyler Shelk, boy, it was some memes out on him. But I'm gonna tell you this: I watch a lot of ACC football. The guys out there in the chat that's in here from down in Florida, whether they up on the east coast of Florida or southern Florida, they know we didn't seen him. You know, we know he's been injured, but when healthy, he could sling it. You know, so.
But is he gonna be there? Is he just the placeholder for Arch Manning next year, or?
You assuming that they gonna be in last place to get him, or somewhere.
And because when they was putting Shador in, they were saying New Orleans and Shador. I was like, I don't think so. You know, everybody was saying that they was gonna tank for Arch Manning.
Well, again, people better be careful when we talk about Arch Manning, because he can get the same treatment that Shador got. That was what I'm saying. They came in already saying Shador was #1 pick.
Yeah.
And then when Cam started, people couldn't understand that was outside the bubble. They kept making excuses for Shador and not just saying that Cam was just a better quarterback. You know, as time went on, it was a reason why Cam got invited to the Heisman. And Shador, what was Shador at the Heisman? No, this year. He was last year. He was at the Heisman. This year he wasn't, right? I think it was Gabriel.
I don't think he was there this year. It was Hunter.
Yeah. Hunter, Gabriel, Cam, and
Scatterboo didn't get there.
No.
Genty.
Ashton Genty.
Genty was before.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what I'm saying about Arch. Arch, we'd have seen less of Arch probably than any other player that we've seen. You know, you're just a little sample size. We ain't seen him play a whole season. We ain't seen him out there game planning for Arch. So I want to see what he do when he start running the gauntlet through the SEC. See if he really that man. Yeah. I don't know if he is or not. I'm not taking that away from him. I just don't know.
I think he got the right coach though.
Oh yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think they're gonna do everything they can, but I'm just waiting to see it on the field instead of just saying to make it seem like he already presumptive #1. It says, man, you see that dude prank call Shador? Yeah, I did see that. I said, hey man, that ain't cool though. Man.
Hey, that's
I said that ain't cool. Man, so we're gonna say next skill position. Mason Taylor, I didn't see a lot of him at LSU, so I can't really speak on Mason. I didn't see a lot of him.
I don't think he's the third best tight end. I can tell you that much.
I think Arroyo better. Well, I know Arroyo better than him. So I'm telling you that right now.
He was drafted off a name.
Yeah.
His dad, Jason Taylor, so he was drafted off a name.
Terrence Ferguson, okay. And then you had Arroyo. Let's see, next skill position. Hey, I do like Benjamin Morris, the cornerback out of Notre Dame. Notre Dame defense was, man, they was something else, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like him. Then you go the TCU wide receiver, Jack Beck. Have you seen a lot of him?
No, I didn't watch a lot of TCU games. You know, you can catch them
right
every now and then on ESPN, news or
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of. Oh, if you, no, I'm not gonna say that on here. So we ain't gonna say that on here. Man, it says,
Now I will say that defensive end, Nico Scranton from
yeah,
that Panthers got. I think that's nice for them on
okay,
the defensive side of the ball. He was a good player. You know, Texas A&M with me being a Mizzou fan, kind of.
right,
You know, watch a lot of SEC football, so
yeah.
pretty good.
I'm gonna tell you another guy. I don't know if he got drafted yet. I have to pull it up. But that wide receiver out of Stanford, the one that was giving Travis Hunter the biz
Oh,
last couple of years.
I don't think he got drafted
I
yet.
mean, that dude, man, a beast, man. I gotta remember think of his name, but
Yeah,
that boy, man, that boy nice.
they were talking about that earlier on Isaiah Bond still ain't been drafted yet.
Oh, really? Out of Texas?
Yeah, he ain't been drafted. Or that wide receiver you talking about, Elick Moore from Stanford.
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't been drafted yet either. I mean, there's some good wide receivers still out there. You got Bond, him, you got Ted Johnson. You got some good wide receivers out there too, along with running backs. Restrepo is still out there.
Hey, to all my Florida State fans, even y'all got somebody drafted. I mean, come on, man. I mean, I'm just joking with you guys out there. I'm just joking.
I'm gonna have you call Johnny up when Florida State played Miami, so you can have him on your show.
Oh man, he don't want that smoke. Hey, he don't want that smoke, man. Hey, look, tell them that Florida State fans, they having some long faces out there, boy. I know they call it for Mike Norvell head out there. He so bad he giving back money this year. All kinds of stuff going on. Oh my God. Yeah, man, losing recruits and everything. You know, hey. And we joke a lot about him. I told guys last week prior to the tragedy that happened down there at Florida State University. But like I said, when we come up there, man, we still gonna put belt their ass. So they know it is what it is up there. So they already know. So when Johnny come in, you know, tell him I'm gonna have him tap in and say a lot of great talent, probably the most productive are still available. I agree first on that. He says, what did he say? He said, I'm really surprised FSU DJ Puke ain't going at first. So, boy. Oh, man. Let's say we got some wide receivers, D tackles. I'm in the third round. So, like, am I in the third round? Yeah. Okay. I did watch a lot of Illinois ball, and I did that wide receiver, Pat Bryant. Thought he was pretty good, pretty good. I think they taking a chance on him, but I think that he played solid ball. And then you got the Iowa State receiver.
Yeah, he went to Texas, didn't he?
Texas, yeah.
Yeah. They got two Iowa State receivers.
Yeah. I like that running back out of Iowa. Caleb Johnson.
He went to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I like that pick there.
Man.
Yeah.
But do they have a running back in Pittsburgh?
I thought, didn't they just let
because Najee went to the Chargers. I don't know if they still got Warren there. But hey, that's gonna work for them. That's a good pick.
Right. So we got, and then I'm surprised. Did Giddens get drafted from K-State yet? I'm surprised he hasn't got drafted.
No, he was still on the board last time I looked.
Like I say, it's some good backs out there.
Yeah, he's still on the board.
Savion Williams out of TCU went to the Packers. I didn't watch a lot of TCU, so that anybody in the chat did, they can let us know. What do you think of, before you speak on that, what do you think of Jalen Milroe?
I think he's a project like Jalen Hurts was.
Okay.
I think Jalen Hurts was further along.
Oh, yes, I agree.
Jalen Milroe.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to take 2 to 3 years to get Jalen Milroe where Jalen Hurts is at. So when I drafted him as early he got drafted, no.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a run first quarterback. He don't know how to read.
Look, I've been telling Jalen Miro, a lot of Bama fans, you get mad at me if you want to, too inconsistent. You know, that's what I saw out of Jalen.
Yeah.
Just too inconsistent. And it says, I'm curious to see what, right on cue, what the Alabama quarterback's going to do. Lord have mercy if he can put it together. Yeah, and I mean, he got, excuse me, a gang of speed.
Yeah, gang of speed.
He got a big arm. But like I said, he was just really inconsistent at this year at Bama. So,
was he a senior or was he a junior?
Oh, I don't know. Anybody in the chat, let us know if Jalen Milroe was a senior or a junior this year.
I think. Well, I don't know. I don't know if he had competition back at Alabama. I'm going to have to ask my buddy. But
okay.
I think he would have benefited for staying another year if he was a junior.
Yeah.
You know, instead of coming out in the draft, because they had him in the room thinking he was going to be a first round pick. And
right. And another thing, what do you think of now? This is a divisive guy here, and you know, every time we bring him up, I got a buddy that comes on this show, and we talk about Dylan Gabriel. Now, Dylan Gabriel, to me, before you speak on him, I'm like, this is a guy that made the Heisman panelists, put up ridiculous numbers. I mean, he undersized, but a playmaker. A lot of people don't like him. I like him. So, what do you think of him?
He started off at UCF.
Yeah.
Went to Oklahoma. 2 years? He was in UCF, 2 years? Oklahoma, 2 years. Then went to Oregon. I think he's a product of the system. Bo Nix was a product of the system because when he was in Auburn, he was no good. He got to the right coach. So I guess what I'm saying is if Dylan Gabriel get to the right coach, he'll be okay. But I think he only like 5'10".
Yeah, he's short. He's short.
And backup. He's not going to be a starter. He's going to be
like old boy Chase Daniels or something like that came out. I could see that. Yeah, like I said, I didn't think he was a projected starter, but I think he can come in and steady the ship until your starter get back. But a lot of people, they really hate on, just I don't know what they don't like about him. Like I said, I ain't a big Oregon fan, but
I think it's because he's the same. I think it's because he's the same age as me and you, Hamp. I mean, I hope not. taking COVID years and doing stuff like that.
The COVID years benefit a lot of players in every sport. Hell, I was watching NCAA wrestling. I see somebody out there damn near 7 years out there. I'm like, God dog it, man.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, take it because it was there.
Right.
But it kind of, when you start putting people at the age of a starter in the NFL playing against these kids at 17 and 18, of course they're going to look good.
Right.
But then when you get to the NFL, it's something different. So,
okay, let's see what we got here.
That Caleb Renstraw from Tulane that went to cornerback number 88 to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
When he played for Mizzou, I think that's the same one that played for Mizzou. I think.
They transferred out? Okay.
Transferred out. I think he's going to be a good cornerback. I think he's going to be a good cornerback.
Right.
So I like what Jacksonville is trying to do as a team.
Hey, he just said the receiver that we're talking about from Stanford just got picked up by the Titans.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what we're talking about. Boy, a dog, man. Physical.
Yep, he sure did.
Yeah, point of attack, good hands. I mean, hey, that's a weapon, And plus, in Tennessee, you need those physical receivers. They play out, don't they? They still play outdoors. So I mean, the weather gets a little crappy there.
Cold.
So
they getting a new stadium in, I think it's 2 years. They building that dome stadium in Tennessee.
Oh, they're gonna build a dome?
Yeah,
that's another debate. I'm so sick of domes, but anyway. All right. We're gonna talk.
That's what everybody's going to though, because
I know.
they're trying to get the Super Bowl and get, you know.
Yeah,
So
but it's just something about then, as long as they don't do it in college football up in the Midwest and the Big Ten, I'm
yeah,
cool with that, What do you think about Cam Scatterboo? Yeah, just going 105 to the Giants. Good fit, bad fit?
I think it's a great fit for the Giants
Mm,
because you got the other running back there, Tracy.
right,
You have it gives you that 1-2 punch, that thunder and lightning
right.
punch, where Tracy ain't got to play all the down like he was before, and they got Singletary there, so they pretty much got a 3-headed monster in the backfield. And Scatterboo can be their goal line back because he runs hard.
Yeah, he runs super
He
hard.
runs real hard.
Man,
So I think,
I'm
and
going
Brian
through the
Daboll is a
draft.
good coach. So I
I'm
think
going
that
through the draft, and I'll be there. I see a doggone Georgia wide receiver go 110. And Arion Smith, and I'm not knocking Arion because Arion was good. So,
yeah,
but boy, I mean, come on, man. I'm just like, y'all already know.
where to go
I'm
to.
not knocking Arion, but that receiving core, hey, look, and they want to get on Carson Beck. I'm like, you see the fools he was throwing to out there? Shoot. I mean, but that's another topic. He hitting them in the hands and bombs, and they dropping them. And I'm like, come
Yeah,
on.
he went to the Jets too.
Yeah. He gonna. Well, we ain't finna talk about him now.
Yeah. Hey, Justin Fields gonna be all right.
Hey, me and these Ohio State quarterbacks, except for old boy down at CJ Stroud. I ain't been too high on him, but hey, it is what it is. I ain't never been too high on a lot of the Ohio State quarterbacks. Receivers, yeah. Quarterbacks, shaky.
Yeah,
So
real shaky.
yeah, so hey, that's all I'm saying on that.
Receivers and running backs in Ohio State, you can pretty much count on.
You're right. And then we got
Quarterbacks,
let's see, we going now. I do Trevor Etienne went to Carolina. That's interesting.
yeah, that might be good for Bryce Young.
Yeah. Well, Bryce Young better do something this year, else I think they're gonna be yanking him. He came on a little bit last year, so
Yeah, they had to sit him down for a hot second, but he righted the ship. I think they need to get him some more weapons.
right.
I think they tried to do that in the draft with the wide receiver from Arizona, McMillan.
Right. And I didn't see a lot of Woody Marks from USC.
USC.
Yeah, I mean, I should have. I mean, they played Notre Dame, and who else did I watch them play? I guess maybe it just didn't pop out to me when I watched them in those games. So,
well, I think he didn't pop out to a lot of people because I'm looking at the CBS. They gave the grade a D+.
oh damn. Well, hey, look, I'm just saying, hey, look, I'm not trying to hate on nobody. Hey, get your money if you can, So, hey, get your money.
Man, you can't get you can get lower than that, but yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, so
I ain't seen the guy. I'm not gonna. He made it to the NFL. Let me put it like that.
Yeah, so I'm just, and that's the shocking part. Like my man said in the chat here, is that it's some good backs that's coming out the ACC and some of these other conferences, but the SEC is so loaded with that they perceive is so loaded with a lot of talent that a lot of these backs get overlooked for some straight mediocre backs, I can say.
Yeah.
Some backs that's okay. It's crazy that when you look at it. So say Florida State.
When you go down to the 126, Cleveland took Dylan Sampson. I think he's a good back from Tennessee.
Yeah,
he ran the ball pretty hard last year.
Yeah.
So,
and Jalen Lane, wide receiver out of Virginia Tech, he good. I thought he was pretty decent for Virginia Tech. Let's go. What are they in the 5th round now? So we go. Are they in the 5th round? Yeah.
They're in the 5th round.
Yeah. Okay. So, because Minnesota is on the clock. Yeah. So there we are late in the draft. So I'm still shocked that somebody put in the chat there how many Canes still left out there to be drafted. I know we got some linemen that hasn't went yet, which is shocking since they had one of the top offenses in college football, So I was shocked that some of them linemen not went yet. But like I say, some of these guys we already know it's going to be walk on, call in the camp.
Yeah.
You know, do you fit their system type thing? So let's see here. The safety Malachi Moore out of Alabama. Yeah, I thought he was good. Wide receiver. Yep. So Dylan Sanford. Yeah.
Minnesota, the pick is in. Let's see what they get.
Yeah. Like I say, it's crazy when you watch this. So I'm just sitting up here and I sit back and look at how this draft is unfolding this year. And matter of fact, but while you guys out there in the chat, tell us where you think Shador gonna go, because we have no idea. You know, right now they're in the 5th round. And if we're looking at the draft board in the 5th round,
I say he end up with Oakland. I mean, Las Vegas.
you think so?
Yeah, when it's all said and done, I think he's gonna end up in Las Vegas.
With Brady and the boys, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, they say he was training with Brady.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Well, shit, they'll have to slide up the. Well, let me see. They ain't got a pick in the 5th round.
Oh dang.
Yeah, so you got Carolina, Baltimore, the Vikings, the Dolphins, Seattle, Philly, the Patriots, the Niners, the Bears,
Yeah, they ain't got
Cowboys, Dolphins again. Yeah, they have to slide up to get them.
Yeah, they don't pick again to the 6th round, 180, pick 180.
Yeah. Hey, shoot, he might slide that.
Yeah.
Look, take this. It like y'all, you Shador fans, because y'all got a little coat out there, but he might wind up going Mr. Irrelevant.
Hey,
he might be the last pick of the draft.
Hey, it worked for Brock Purdy. It worked for Brock Purdy.
Hey,
So,
look, man, look.
Let's
I don't even want to talk about Brock, man.
Y'all finna pay him? Y'all finna pay him what, 50
man, they shouldn't pay Brock Purdy. Look, I know they're gonna franchise tag him, and they damn sure needed a quarterback, but it's that Shanahan system, man. He want a guy, hand the ball out and
I hope he don't get greedy, man. And I want the man to get paid, but I hope he don't get greedy and try to break the bank because everybody knows it's the system, not him.
Yeah, I don't think Brock Purdy gonna get on the open market and demand a lot of money. He ain't no Kirk Cousins, but you know what I'm saying? That Kirk Cousins 2 times better than Purdy was when he was going through the contract negotiations. So I just don't see Brock Purdy doing that.
Well, at least Purdy took y'all to was it the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Kirk Cousins couldn't do that for Minnesota.
Hey, but I'm just talking about straight quarterback.
Oh, straight quarterback.
I mean, Purdy had weapons. You know, he had Debo, he had McCaffrey, and those boys.
Yeah.
Defense was rock solid. Yeah, so it's just a lot of things that factored in with that. But
True.
So yeah, we're not gonna so here we go. It says I think we're gonna have a lot of players draft to start right now. You got Kiko, okay, Martinez, Rivers, okay, Barron, Xavier, Sam Brown, receiver, George, and Barrow. Yeah. We're gonna see because let's see who all out here need a receiver in this round, in this 5th round. Shit, the Dolphins need one because old boy, he crazy. Tyreek. Shit, Tyreek is a straight nut. So hey, look, allegedly nut, but shit, he be acting like a nut.
Yeah,
put it like that.
And he said, I think they said they're gonna trade either him or Ramsey. So
Jalen Ramsey, quarterback.
Yeah.
Hey,
they trying to make cap space. So I mean, you got so much going on right now.
You know my motto: you can have one nut on a team. You can't have two. No. You can't have two. What's my man for Golden State?
Which one? Draymond Green?
Yes, you can't have two Draymond Greens on your team. You can have one, but you can't have two. So, when you get two nuts on your team, it just ain't right, man.
Right.
It messes up a lot of stuff. So we got Miami. They probably need one. I think Seattle pretty settled right now in receiver. So
Seattle, they got Ibuka down. They got what's his name? Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah.
They traded away DK Metcalf. They got rid of Lockett. So they
got rid of DK because DK wanted to fight all the time.
Hey,
DK want to fight more than he want to play football. You know, he be running a route and just turn around, just start hitting cats. I'm like, what's wrong with you, DK, man? Run the route, man.
And sometimes you got to do, Hamp. That's what you got to do. You got.
I don't know what's wrong with DK, man. DK boy, I hope. Where he go to the Steelers?
Yeah, he went to the Steelers.
I hope, boy. Now you got two nuts, him and Pickett.
Yeah.
Again, you can't have
hey, they need to just find somebody to throw him the ball. That's what I don't get.
Hey, look,
they gonna trade for Kirk Cousins.
Hey. All I know, y'all Steelers fans out there, if y'all out there, man,
they out there.
Y'all ain't had a quarterback since Charlie Batch. I'm joking.
Hey, I was at least gonna give him Ben Roethlisberger.
I'm joking.
Man, Charlie Batch.
Oh man,
that's cool.
I know I'm joking with y'all Steelers fans out there.
I wouldn't even do that to him like that.
Oh man, Vikings. What about them? So I say Seattle, Philadelphia. I think they're sitting in a room where they got Devontae and my man that came up from Tennessee. I could draw the blank now. What's the other wide receiver?
Brad, what team?
Philly.
Oh, they got
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown, and they got the little skinny dude. Smith.
Yeah. Got Smith.
They said
they don't spread you out too much, yeah. So
no.
Patriots, what the Patriots looking like on the depth chart here?
They got Diggs, and they just drafted a couple.
That's right. They did just draft a couple of receivers. Yeah,
they just got a couple, and they got Stephon Diggs up there.
Right.
And they got my favorite running back, CJ Anderson.
I don't know what you think Stephon gonna do this year, man. Stephon, since he's bouncing around a lot, he another one.
Yeah, he ain't the same, but I think he'll give him 1,000 yards receiving.
Yeah.
80 catches.
He another one got to come in and understand, man, you're not bigger than the system.
Yeah.
You know, I think Stephon, and sometimes I ain't never been a receiver in the league, but just watching them, sometimes those receivers come in like they just bigger than the system, and you're not, so.
Well, I think that's that diva attitude that the receivers have,
Yeah.
And that's what makes them great, man. I mean.
Yeah.
He got the catch in Minnesota, from Case Keenum that sent us to the championship game against the Eagles, which you lost. But Stephon Diggs, he's a good wide receiver. I just think he ain't like he was 5 years ago.
Well, yeah.
And I think he still thinks that sometimes.
They saying that San Francisco don't need no receivers, but hell, they need some receivers now. They beefed up that defensive line of the ball. I think they took 3 defensive players in their pick, so they need another receiver because what's my man? He coming off the knee injury.
Yeah, you got him. Ayuk.
Yeah, Brandon Ayuk, and then of course you let Debo go. I think Juszczyk came back. I think he went
because I know he was on free agency.
Yeah, and so Juszczyk came back, and
I think the other wide receiver that San Fran had. I forget his name. I think he was better than Debo because he was making all y'all catches up there in San Fran. Who was that wide receiver that you guys had? Number 15. Jennings.
Oh yeah. There we go.
I think his name was, but he made a lot of plays too. So
here we go.
Sorry, I don't have
not Brandon. No, I'm thinking damn. I almost said here we go. Brandon Ayuk. Oh, Jawan Jennings.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was when they were all hurt, he was out there making plays.
Yeah.
They just gotta get Kittles back to doing what he's doing and I can't believe that y'all traded Mason.
Oh, that's right. They got Ricky Pershaw, the one guy that got shot. Yeah. He nice. Yeah. Well, I think he came out of Florida, didn't he? Yeah, he came out of Florida.
But I can't believe that the 49ers traded Mason to the Vikings. I thought he ran hard when McCaffrey wasn't there.
Well, they got rid of him, and then they got rid of my man that went to the Dolphins the 2 years before that, the running back, after he broke
Mostert,
his leg. Yeah, yeah. Like, what's that? Raheem Mostert.
Mostert, yeah.
Yeah, and then so I ain't been understanding a lot of stuff, and I don't even know what was wrong with McCaffrey all year. Something was going on with him. They
Yeah.
never really
Yeah.
said what happened with McCaffrey the whole year. So I just hope he come back healthy because he basically set out the whole season. So I don't know what was going on with that whole thing. With
Well,
McCaffrey.
the Vikings just traded for Sam Howell.
What?
Yep, for Seattle.
Mm.
So there go our backup quarterback.
Wait a minute. Oh, okay. And they took.
Yeah, and then they took a defensive lineman in the draft, but it
Right.
just Adam Schefter just posted it. So Vikings traded for Sam Howell and get pick number 172 in the 5th, and Seattle get pick 142 in the 5th. So
well, damn. Let me see. Well, who is on the Seattle depth chart now?
they got Sam Darnold as their quarterback,
right.
and I don't know who they got behind him.
Let me see. Well, they
Drew
probably
Lock.
gonna take another. Drew Lock.
Yeah, I think it's Drew Lock. Where's Seattle at? Oh, he's all the way down at the bottom.
Let's see here. Seahawks.
They won't let me see him on the depth chart, but
Hold on. There we go.
I mean, if that's what they want, hey, that's what we'll take.
All right, you got Sam Darnold, and then you got Drew Lock. Oh, they got Jalen Miro. I forgot.
Oh yeah, they did draft him.
Yep. So yeah, they're set. Because he'll beat out Drew Lock, Miro will in time. So
Yeah.
and but damn, Sam Howell.
I mean, I thought he played good. I thought he played good with Washington that year.
Yeah.
Good. I mean,
Yeah.
he'd be a good
It's
backup.
crazy. They just ain't got that one starter that you. I mean, Sam Darnold isn't bad. Don't get me wrong. He's a serviceable NFL quarterback. Drew Lock, career backup. Like you said, he a system quarterback. I thought when he played when he in Denver that year.
Yeah, he was in Denver.
Yes, I thought he actually had some good years. So that's going to be interesting on that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. And then Mills, D tackle out of Notre Dame. Let's say we still try to figure out who needs receiver. I mean, it's got to be some receivers. Well, the Dolphins, they probably at this late in the stage, y'all better take somebody from Miami. That's all I'm gonna say. We finna have some problems out here now. Come on now, y'all know y'all need some things. Because
Las Vegas need receivers.
They took Jordan Phillips, D tackle out of Maryland.
Kansas City, if they can get all
Kansas City most definitely.
They need receivers.
Because Kansas City, when you looked at Kansas City last year, you saw that window closing. They wasn't as explosive as they have been the years before. So it's like some teams on their ass this year.
Denver.
The
Chargers.
Yeah.
Hell with the Raiders if they can get it right.
Right. And you know what? Brady and them might get the Raiders right. I don't know. They might.
The Raiders, to me, they play good defense.
Yeah.
Their offense was just not there. And I mean, I understand they lost Jacobs last year. They played Minshew and O'Connell, whatever his name was.
Minshew?
Yeah, they had Gardner Minshew and they had O'Connell at quarterback.
Okay, yeah.
They were hurt, so they were going back and forth. So hopefully Geno bring them some stability. And they can run the ball. Brock Bowers is the truth. He showed.
Oh yeah, Brock Bowers is a beast, man. I was telling guys out of that when he came out of Georgia, that receiving core. When you look at that with him and Ladd, I mean, shit, no wonder they was good 2 years ago. Those boys out there catching everything, boy. Hey, look, they ain't like them fools they had out there this year.
Hey, you gonna leave Lovett alone?
They ain't like those balls they had out there this year catching the ball, dropping stuff all over the field.
Hey, Dominic Lovett, I got your back, man.
Hey, look, Dominic, this is much love here, dog. I'm talking about as a team, man. Y'all got to do better catching that ball, man. And like my man said, man, y'all, we're going to hold y'all to the 6th round. I don't know how we let one of y'all sneak into the 3rd. After the 6th round, y'all can go where y'all want to go, man. I don't care then, you know.
Nah, they good.
There's certain teams out there, hey, you know they receivers shouldn't be in the 1st round. So, you know, or first through 5.
I was looking to see the best available receivers that they had. Isaiah Bond is there, so something must be going on with him.
Yeah. I'm going to say you just don't know. It's just these players when they come this late, you don't know if they if when they went through the interview process, some of them was a little nicked up. You know, like I said, the 1st round, you just for sure, that's who they love. They want you. You know, you already know that. But when you start getting past that 3rd round, it gets a little sketchy. You got to have those connections a little bit. You know, they got to really kind of want you. So, and that's another thing that we haven't talked about. It's like sometimes people get bad advice to go into the draft, you know, and that's another debate that people need to have, that when you start, you know, if you're not projected in those top, you know, 3 rounds, or I like to say top 2, because you get in that 3rd round and start sliding, you know, and is the right decision, especially go back now that you got NIL money.
Yeah.
And boost your stock, you know, do like yourself, bet on yourself like Cam, bet on yourself like Carson Beck, and then go back and then put together a better resume, you know, so, and you're getting paid and everything on top of that, you know. Of course, Shedeur couldn't have went back. I think he was, this was his 5th year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was his, I think so.
Yeah, I think it was his 5th year. I think he couldn't have went back.
He did 2 at Jackson State and then 2 at Colorado, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, so that's 4, yeah.
Yeah, so.
He could have went back in the graduate, but, I mean, he was there to play football. We all know that. So, he wouldn't have went back anyway. Plus, Shedeur did enough that he didn't have to go back.
No.
You know, I'm not even applying that he should have went back. He did enough that he should have went. I would say that if more quarterbacks went off the board, the way the draft set up, it wasn't set up for quarterbacks. It's just, you look at it, you just start, when I started looking at those offensive linemen and a lot of those defensive linemen come off the board, I was like, yeah, this is a different draft in the 1st round. Of which I've seen drafts like it before, but never that heavy. You've seen a lot of skill players. You know, I go back when you think of like Orlando Pace and those guys draft, you know, you start seeing, there goes Shedeur right there, went to Cleveland, you called him.
Oh, no, I said Oakland, not Oakland, Las Vegas.
Oh, Las Vegas. Oh, well, he went to Cleveland. So they slid all the way in and still got him.
So didn't Cleveland draft a quarterback earlier? Did they?
Let's see here.
Let me see, because I thought they drafted a quarterback early. Thank God he went. No, Mason Graham, blah, blah, blah. No, they didn't. Yeah, they drafted Dylan Gabriel.
What?
Yeah.
Boy, that's going to be a hell of a
man, I hope he don't hang out. Wow.
That's going to be a hell of a well, hey, he like competition, so hey, it is what it is. It is there right there for you. Yep, Dylan Gabriel, Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, Deshaun Watson. Somebody finna get traded.
Yeah,
somebody finna get traded. Because
Joe Flacco gonna start.
Yeah. You don't think Deshaun coming back?
Nah, I think he out for the season.
Is he?
I think he out for the season. I think he had I think they said he had a problem with his ACL.
Okay.
So I think he out for the season. I think that's why they stocking up on all these quarterbacks. Because they traded for Kenny Pickett. They signed Joe Flacco, and now they just picked up these 2.
Yeah, they super young. So what I probably think
what's gonna happen now is you put him as your QB3. You have Dylan Gabriel, Shador as your QB3. You have Dylan Gabriel on the practice squad because ain't nobody gonna grab him.
Right.
And you go from there, and you hope to develop him.
Well, that'd be crazy because if you think of that, if you put him on a practice squad, but you drafted him above him 2 rounds before, that's crazy.
Well, the reason why I say you put Gabriel on a practice squad, because if you put Shador on a practice squad, I think somebody will go grab Shador before they grab.
Oh,
Gabriel.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you kind of protecting both of them. Well, one of them. But the other one, they still getting reps. I mean, they ain't like they gonna get reps, but
because you think it'll go Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and then Shador on the depth chart. Yeah, because I would say Pickett does fit the Browns because it came out from they with the Steelers.
The Steelers,
so he's used to that pound the ground type that they was running. They got the big backs and they run the ball a lot. So I can see that working. I just don't know. Him in Cleveland, Shador in Cleveland, I guess. But hey, it is what it is. Shit. They almost ruined Baker, and Baker got the hell out of there and went to Tampa and balled out. A lot of people was bad on see somebody just put on there right what I said. He said Sanders to Cleveland where quarterbacks go to die. That's what we just said. I was like, but I'll say Baker got the hell up out of there, and then people was on Baker. He horrible quarterback. We want people, I guarantee you, people won't be saying that about Sanders if he get a shot, but people was hard on Baker. People was real hard. Then he got out of there and got his ass over to Cleveland Tampa and was showing boys, hey, he was real.
Well, if you look at that draft with Baker too, though, he went number 1, and then you had Josh Allen behind him, and then you look at their careers. A lot of people said Josh Allen should have went first,
right?
But Cleveland chose Baker, and I think that's why Baker, and he had that attitude too. Baker had that.
Well, he had that.
That's why a lot of people hated on Baker. So,
right. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Sanders to Cleveland, you guys out there. Like I said, hey, people could get mad all they want to. Y'all felt that Cleveland should have got him, and as a second pick, y'all got him. So quit bitching. You know what I'm saying? Whether you got him first round, second round, third round, fifth round, he's still in Cleveland. Now the question is, what are he gonna do now? Of course, being around at the end, I don't think nothing is guaranteed. So he's got to earn his spot being there. You got to make the team. You got to go through. You ain't walking in there as the man. You got to go in there, lace them up. You ain't coming in there with no cameras. You basically, what round is this? Fifth round pick. You ain't coming in there with your own media team, any of that. You got to come in, ball out. And
I think he will.
I think he will. I think that like I said, I just think that there's a lot of factors in there, and he got to get them in there. You get them vets around them, and they gonna tell him like, "Hey, dog, you know what you do off the field is what you do off the field, but when you're in here, lock in. That's it. We can't control you what you do off the field, but you got to lock in. Because if you ain't locking in, now it's a distraction on us. And if it's a distraction on us, then hey, we got to hold you accountable. Yeah. So and then you can't be no distraction sitting on the sideline.
No.
That and I think that was the biggest thing too that a lot of people is because say for instance you go in and Flacco's struggling, which we know Joe long in the tooth. I like Joe Flacco, but and the coach comes and says, "Oh, we finna throw Kenny Pickett in the game." They're going to be calling for
Shador.
Yeah, Shador. They ain't calling for Dylan Gabriel. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna call for Dylan, and I like Dylan, but I'm just saying, they gonna be calling. And but the NFL different. They ain't out there listening to the noise and stuff like that. But I'm just saying it's a touchy touchy situation. You got the media circus from Deshaun Watson and his legal problems to
Yeah.
Shador and his stuff. They got a lot of things to navigate there in Cleveland. So
And it's funny that we talking about Cleveland because we were talking about who needed wide receivers earlier.
right.
They only have Jerry Judy.
Yeah.
So it's like they need receivers too.
Because they got right now, I'm looking at they got Judy, Cedric Tillman, Michael Woods the second.
Yeah.
I like David Njoku because of course he a Kane. And
So they need some slot help.
yeah,
Tillman is more of a deep threat. You got Judy that runs your 10 to 15 ends.
Yeah.
So you need that slot.
Well, they picked up receiver wise, they picked up let's see here. A 5th round pick, 2024. That was last year.
They giving my Vikings a bad grade for their defensive lineman pick.
So yeah, they definitely need some help at receiver. So we're gonna see.
I lost my.
You had another cornerback. So, well, one thing we will say about Shador, he definitely gonna get a chance. So the people that's out there, it might not be this year, depending. He said 805K. He crazy. He said that's racist. They took Dylan Gabriel first. Hey, believe it or not, somebody gonna say that. You know, I truthfully, I don't know why they took Dylan Gabriel before they took him. I could look at some numbers and tell you that we could argue and say Dylan Gabriel had a better season than Shador. I mean, if we want to be honest, super honest about the facts out there, Dylan Gabriel on paper had better win percentage this year than Shador, played a tougher schedule than Shador, and didn't play bad, except that he played, of course, bad in the college football championship.
But yeah, I would say that offense that Dylan Gabriel was in too was, like I said, you put Shador in that offense, Shador gonna put up the same numbers.
Right.
Better. So I mean, that Oregon offense, Bo Nix was just unbelievable in it.
Right.
So Dylan Gabriel, I mean, 6 years in college, man. I mean, if you can read the defense, 6 years.
Not like I said, he's not better than Shador. Don't get me wrong, but I'll just say people could just make that connection. That why, but if just at the eye test, Shador is way. I ain't gonna say way better. It's better, physically more tool than Gabriel. And so that's just interesting why they did it, and that's something they're gonna have to explain at these press conferences too. Okay, you take 2 quarterbacks. Matter of fact, both of your quarterbacks was on a Heisman panel 1 year and the year after. So it's kind of it's crazy. So if you really believed in Dylan, why take Shador? You know that I don't understand that either. You know, and if you didn't believe in him at the pick that you took, Dylan, why take him now? That's just questions that the media gonna have to ask, or people from Cleveland gonna have to ask. I mean, I don't know the answer to that, so that's crazy.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I just don't understand why they took Dylan Gabriel in the pick 94, and then 50 picks later took Shador.
That don't make it's hard to understand that.
Unless they were conflicted in the room and didn't know which one they wanted, and they was like, well, if he there,
we'll just take him.
We'll just take him. What's to lose?
To me, you had to really like Shador. I mean, Dylan, to take him, make him your first quarterback to. Well, like I said, because I don't know how they are on Kenny Pickett. You know, I don't know.
Right.
Because Pickett it was another thing. He didn't have a lot to really work with in Pittsburgh.
Nope.
You know, and all my Pittsburgh fans out there knowing, and I seen that San Fran's got Oregon running back. And So he didn't really get a chance to. Now I'm not gonna say this. I wasn't really high on Pickett coming out of Pittsburgh. Come when he came out of college.
Right.
I thought he was decent, but I didn't think he would come in and save Pittsburgh. A lot of people was high on him because they understood like he was more of a system quarterback. So, it is what it is. So basically, they got 3 system guys. You got Pickett, you got Shador, because Shador ain't really, like I say, he got to be in a system. That's what all the analysts are saying, that Shador has to be in a system because he doesn't have that elite speed, that elite elusiveness, or any of those things. So he can move a little bit, don't get me wrong. But
and I don't think he took a snap from under center this year, last year either.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like I say, hey,
Cleveland runs I for they did the last couple of years run I formation,
right,
with Nick Chubb. So
right.
I mean, unless they go into a new offense, because Dylan Gabriel is another one that didn't never take a snap under center.
Right. So and hell, I don't know if Dylan Gabriel be able to see over the line if he took a snap under center. So that's just really interesting that Cleveland turned around and got Shador this late. But again, you can't knock him if you're taking the first available.
Right.
So, that is what it is. Sanders is way better than Dylan. Yeah, we agree. We all agree there. Yeah, we all agree with that. He's way better than that. But again, I just don't understand why they would come back around. Like I say, but if he's the next best player on the draft on your board and you're getting him on the pennies and you ain't got to give him a guaranteed contract, for whatever reason, hey, it is what it is, so I don't know how the contracts go in the first after the first round. So I have to have somebody on here that could talk about that. And I'm not really sure on that and the pay differential and stuff like that when you make the team. So not really sure. Okay, so Cowboys got Jaden Blue. I do like that pick, Texas. But it's gonna be interesting because I'm not seeing. So he's going. Well, who is the next available player left?
Man.
Let's see here. See if we could get that up here.
I think the Cowboys might double back and get another running back later on too. Because Blue was good, but he wasn't an every down back.
Where?
But hey, he led the team in touchdowns.
Yeah. I mean, I like Blue. Yeah. So let's see here. Remaining players in the NFL. Let's see if this will go up to the minute here.
Running backs available.
Who on the clock now?
Miami.
Yeah. Okay,
Miami,
it says
Indianapolis.
there was a team a few years ago that took 2 quarterbacks. Like I can't remember which one.
Oh, that was the Commanders, aka the Redskins.
Who they take, Luke?
They took if this is the one they talk about, they took RG3 in the first round. They took Kirk Cousins in like the 4th.
Okay.
That's one that I remember. They took 2 quarterbacks like that. Well, you got last year, New England took Drake May in the first round and then drafted Milton.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
In the draft. So I guess it's take 2 quarterbacks and see which one work out.
Because Milton got traded. Now who he went to?
He got traded to Dallas.
Yeah.
Off of 1 game.
Yeah, and that's crazy. And now everybody hollered at Milton is the savior and everything. And I'm just like, boy, we get so
1 game, man.
So sucker. That's why I always tell people, going back to college football, be very careful of Arch Manning. Yeah, I think he go ball, but you only seen a sample size. They haven't prepared whole game footage for him or against him. And that's the stuff that you have to worry about when you start. It's a difference coming in the game, being a back, in the game backing up. They ain't game plan for you. Even Angeli, that from Notre Dame, when the starter got hurt, I can't think of his name right now, it slipped my mind, but when he got hurt, Angeli came and looked really good in the championship game. But be careful. Well, he's in a portal now. I don't know where he's
Are
going.
you talking about what you talking about last year quarterback?
Yeah, Steve Angeli.
What's his name? Riley?
Yeah, Riley. Yeah.
yeah.
Because he transferred over from Duke, I think. I think he
Duke,
came over from Duke. Yeah. And then he went over and he had a solid year. And but when he got hurt in the game, and about a halftime, Angeli came in, righted the ship, and then he came back. But then everybody was real high on him and stuff. And I'm like, be careful. The small sample size. Texas didn't go in there with a game plan for Angeli. They went in the game plan for Riley. So you just got to be careful with that. Let's see here. All right, they says I'm trying to see the next best skill players. They say Mitchell Evans out of Notre Dame. I like Devin Neal out of Kansas. I like him. Giddens still ain't off the board. Will Howard.
Isaiah Bond still on the board.
Yeah. Kieran Edwards. Ewers. I'm sorry. Let's see here. Damian Martinez that we talk about.
Hell, you got Quentin Ewers and Kyle McCord still on the board.
Yeah, I like Kyle McCord. Yeah,
I like Quentin Ewers. I think Ewers, yeah, man.
A lot of people down on him, man, but I like him too. I think he caught a lot of pressure just because of the Arch situation behind.
Yeah,
they was pushing. They really wanted him on the field.
He played a lot of last season hurt.
Yeah.
And he still went out there and played because I guess he knew that Arch was going to take his job or whatever. But
right.
He I think he should have just hit the transfer portal like Carson Beck. Went to North Carolina and been good.
He should have came over to the U. We'd have took him too. We'd have took him. Hey,
man, y'all got Carson Beck.
Hey, look.
Y'all can't have everybody.
We got Tyler Barron, still from Miami, still on the board. He the 23rd best player left. So we got about at least two guys in the top 25 that's still left on the board. Miami does, rather. And who you got? You still follow Pitt, don't you? Penn State. Penn State.
I'm Penn State.
That's right.
Penn State all the way.
What do you think of their season that they had? Penn State.
We had a great season. We just had bad quarterback play in 2 games that cost us.
Drew Aller?
Yeah. We had 2 games that, we had the game against Ohio State beat. He just made a bad decision at the end through the interception.
Yeah.
We had Notre Dame beat in that championship game, and he made 2 bad throws. Yeah. But I think with him coming back this year, we're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
And we got the defense coordinator from Ohio State.
Right.
So, hey, Giddens just got drafted by the Colts.
Okay, I like that.
So, they gonna have him and Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. Hey, I like DJ Giddens. I'll tell you, I really like him. Physical runner. Yeah. Well, he gave Colorado the business, didn't he? Yeah. Shit. I mean, everybody was giving that defense the business, but he really gave it the business for shoot.
All the Cowboys just did a trade. They back.
Yeah, hell, they need running backs, don't they?
Yeah, they did pick up one. They just drafted one a few minutes ago.
Okay.
But let me see. Because they just drafted a running back. They just drafted Jadon Blue from Texas.
Oh, okay.
So
you have.
Maybe they're going to get a receiver. Because they need somebody on the opposite side of CD Lamb.
Yeah.
So maybe they get a receiver or something.
Well, Cowboys just took a linebacker, Shamar James, Florida. Yep, they just took an old linebacker there.
Dang, so are they
and the Bengals on the clock. I mean, the Bengals pick is in. Let's see here.
Shamar James, is he an inside linebacker or? Because they've already drafted an edge. So if they draft an edge on edge, well, Micah Parsons, he played all over the field. So
right.
They just trying to put the best players available.
Now, did the Bengals locked up their receivers, didn't they?
Yeah, they locked up both their receivers and their quarterback. They gonna draft defense.
Yeah.
They're gonna draft defense.
Giants, I do like the Giants receiver for last year, old boy that came out.
Neighbors.
Yeah, Neighbors nice. Well, he LSU, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Man,
Neighbors nice.
And it was sad about that wide receiver for LSU that killed himself the other day, Lacey.
Yeah.
He would have been a top 10. I mean, not top 10. Round,
probably second round. He was nice. He was nice. Like I said, I don't know too much of the
he killed Mizzou.
I just don't know. Man, if I give any advice to some of these young boys out there, dog, life ain't over at 18, 19. Even if you think it's bad, hey,
just I ain't gonna say fuck it up because that's the wrong term, but man, that's why I try to tell a lot of people, man, I've been where you at. It's gonna be hard times.
Right.
Put it behind.
Just hang in there. That's what I tell them. Just hang in there. He says, damn, the Gator just passed up at picks. Yeah, shit. We still try to get somebody. You try to get somebody.
Hey, man, it's a daggone shame that y'all trying to keep counting how many picks y'all got.
Hey, look, we need to know.
You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it.
Man, it's like, they can't believe, like, say, hey, we slide like Shedeur slid, you know?
Y'all got more picks than Penn State, so don't worry about y'all.
Do we? How many y'all got?
We only got three.
You got Tyler, you got Warren, and who else? Oh, and
Abdul Carter and Kevin Winston Jr.
Okay. And the shit. No, the Canes only got two, right? Yeah. They only got Cam and they only got Arroyo, right?
Oh, wow.
Yep, they only got two right now. Yep. So we trying to hang on in there and see what these guys go do here. We already know Shedeur, all the big hitters off the board right now. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah. Would you rather be in a coming in bagging up like Shedeur or Cam day one, kind of like old boy from Washington? Or did he come in starting right away?
Jaden Daniels, he can't start in right away.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think it depends on the team.
Yeah.
Like, I know y'all might hate me for saying this, but I think Cam should sit for a little while behind who they got over there, Will Levis, and just let them learn the game. Let them learn the game.
Right.
They're not going to be a great team this year anyway.
All right, Jalen Rivers from the U, baby.
So
they're from the U, baby. Just went up down there to where they go. Went to Cincinnati Bengals. Hey, yep. Jalen, boy, you better get you some Long Johns, buddy, because it's cold as hell up there, boy. Shout out to you.
Yeah, I think I'd rather be Shedeur than Ward right now.
I think Shedeur probably got more immediate pressure. I think the pressure is tricky because I just keep saying I don't know how much Shedeur, because mentally you got to think Shedeur to play with his dad his whole life.
Whole life.
So his daddy did mask a lot of stuff that probably other coaches wouldn't even put up with. Now he coming in the system where your daddy can't say nothing. Yeah, right. So I'm just thinking like, man, if I was, Cam had been at different schools, different coordinators, people not believing in him. I think if I had to start, I would feel more comfortable him starting because he's been through all these different coaching changes. I think it's going to take Shedeur a little bit longer just to, to understand, you've just been coached by your dad your whole life. Now you'd have had different OCs and stuff like that. I get it, but it's a difference.
You don't think him sitting behind, what they got over there, where Cam coming in and starting right away, and the pressure is on him to win? Like the pressure is going to be on Cam because he's the number one pick, and they want him to win. I think where if they start Levis and let Cam build up,
Right.
kind of like what New England did with Drake May last year.
Well, yeah.
Start him right away, just trickle him in,
right,
and let him go. I think Cam is going to be phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
But
and
I
we
think,
still don't know. He might. I don't know. No, I'm pretty sure he's gonna start day one. So
yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna
yeah,
say Levis might. Yeah, but
because Will Levis is trash.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be honest, man. Dude is trash.
But you know, the funny thing of it is, yeah, I would say it would benefit Shador, but he has to want that advice because you got to remember,
Yeah.
sometimes in the league, you get some guys that just ain't used to sitting on the bench. And when they're not used to sitting on the bench, they don't want to take that constructive criticism that Vet's giving them and stuff like that. So, you know, he'll take it from his pops and his pops inner circle, but are you willing to take it by, you got to remember, guys on the team probably never challenged Shador.
Probably, yeah, you're right.
Probably his whole life. But guys in the NFL, you ain't the man, you know. So you're going to be challenged by other players telling you you ain't that good, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, that's crazy. He said it's the debate between Cam Ward, Mr. 1 overall versus 144 Shador Sanders. Cam Ward deserves to retire his jersey. Cam is the opposite of Shador character and leadership. Shador needs maturity.
That hey, true.
Put the statement up there so people can read it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I disagree. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. And that's kind of like what I've been saying. It's like it's so you see it, and I'm gonna just take Shador's name off of this. We've all played. If you played sports, if you played on a high school level, collegiate level like me, or in the pros, whatever sport you play, we've all been on a team with a guy that thought he was the man, and when he got to the next level, and he wasn't the man. The question is, how do you take it? Some guys could say, you know what? Damn, I'm finna sit back, listen to old head. I'm gonna sit back and listen to this vet. You know, he trying to tell me right to get my game up. Or you could be Johnny Manziel type and just go on a destructive behavior and believe you the man and not care. Now, I'm not even saying that Shador would do that because he damn sure ain't Johnny Manziel out there drinking and acting a damn fool. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not even applying that. But I'm applying that you got to be willing to soak up knowledge from your vets if you want to get better in the league, you know. So that's all I'm saying on that.
And they've been on the show. They've been talking about Shador getting drafted more than they talked about Cam getting drafted right now. So
and that's what I'm saying.
What you were saying at the beginning of the show.
And that's why I'm glad he's going because I'm tired of them. You know, you get the number 1 draft pick, you know, and usually you paint it all over. Hell, you might even get on a Wheaties box, you know what I'm saying? But hell, we can't even get 2 seconds of them not talking about Cam and what he's done. I get people flooding me talking about, oh, Cam just had one good year. And I'm thinking like, what the hell these other quarterbacks do? You get drafted on what you did this year. If you're going to get drafted high, you know, there's some exceptions to the rules, you know, but.
And some of them people didn't watch his games at Washington State either.
Well, true.
He wasn't no slouch at Washington State.
Right.
That's
and they damn sure wanted to keep him.
Yeah, and that's why it was a kind of a bidding war for him when he
right.
left.
Because remember, he was going to the league. Cam was on his way to the league, but they already said he wasn't going to be a high draft pick. And he was just like, you know what? Let me just come on back. Mario got in his ear, which is a hella recruiter. He was a hella recruiter at Alabama. You know, he got some studs down there to come down there. And then, like I say, he got in his ear, got to telling him, come back. We're going to get you there, you know. You got him hooked up with Shannon Dawson, the OC. OC got him on in a good system. You had some receivers because Restrepo was really the face of Miami. You know, a lot of people knew Restrepo. I'm talking about outside, unless you tapped into the K's, you can't name all the receivers outside of them besides Restrepo. You know what I'm saying? We tapped in, we know. But, you know, he decided to stay. He decided to listen to Cam and believe, and everybody bought in and see what happened. You know, so.
And he look at that draft class of the quarterbacks last year. You had Caleb, Jaden Daniels, Penix, McCarthy, Bo Nix, and him. Man.
That's what I'm saying. You wasn't going to go that high. And as much as I like Cam, I watched Daniels play LSU. I watched him when he played Mizzou. He single-handedly brought him back. He was running and the ball and throw the ball all over the damn field. Bo Nix was ball. I mean, yeah. So even when Dion said to Shedeur, like, why you think Dion didn't come out? I mean, Shedeur didn't come out last year. Shedeur knew he wasn't going to be ahead of those guys. Right. So it's no knock, to say Cam said, you know what? It's a smart business decision to come back. But again, kind of like what 805K said, when you come back and you're going to get drafted, you still got to play the game. You still got to play the game. Okay, your ability gets you so far.
To that point.
But then after that, you got to play that game to get where you want to be. Because now you still get to Cleveland, which was originally the second pick, wasn't they? They was originally before they traded to Jacksonville. But now, look how much money you lost.
Yep.
I mean, that's the whole thing. You lost. Now it's going to take you time to even get that money back, Now you can go out and get endorsements, and now how your teammates going to be looking at you. You coming out with your damn endorsements and everything, and you 4th string. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now.
Well, the only good thing that's working in his favor is what he gets, like a 3-year contract where he at? If he signed, it's gonna be
if he signed, yeah.
So and he probably ain't gonna ball for 2 years because they got the other quarterbacks there.
Right.
So he's not gonna get no big mega contract. So
right, yeah. So it says when you step back and look at it, Shedeur is a top 10 talent when unfortunate proper coaching. If Shedeur was at Texas or Ohio with a Sarkisian, I think he's talking about, and a day with an offensive specialized, I think he goes top 10. Yeah.
That's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree there, and unfortunately, you're leaving out the caveat too. What is his name? I can't even read it from here. But also, he ain't got his daddy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so it's a difference when Ryan Day telling you to do something. And of course, if Ryan Day was coaching him, we just hypothetically talking, if he was coaching him, and then after the season was over, the scouts come in and they said, hey, give us the inside on Shedeur. Who you think would be more honest, Ryan Day or somebody telling him about his own son? You see what I'm saying? So that's another thing I kind of hurt him too, because if I'm trying to get information about you, I don't think I'm gonna get the full information from your pops. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna glaze you up. You don't
think Dion would tell the truth about him? I mean, dude is blunt. Don't do that. Don't do that. He ain't on here. I think he would tell the truth about it. I mean, Dion pretty much upfront with everything. You know what I'm saying? He'll tell you the truth. I mean, he told you if you can't pay me, don't draft me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. It says I don't think Shedeur is worried about the money. Did you see his personal? I'm not saying he's worried about the money. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he got money. But you know what? Even rich people don't want to lose money. So I don't give a damn how you talk about it. Even Elon Musk was like, hey, look, I'm gonna have to step down from politics a little bit because I'm losing too much money. You know what I'm saying? So we all us don't want to lose money. So don't get it twisted. He making money, but don't forget the NFL is not for long. It's not for long. So you got to maximize your opportunities when you are there. So that is what it is on that. And like I said, I hope the man get all the money he can. You know what I'm saying? I
give him. He's starting 2026.
Yeah. Oh, you say 2026?
Yeah, not this season, but next season he's a starter of the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, because I think they'll probably get rid of Deshaun. Deshaun locked in for so long.
Well, I think the contract with Deshaun is affordable for him to get cut after, because I think they changed his.
They front loaded it.
Yeah, they front loaded it now. They did a restructure of his contract, so I think he'll be able to get rid of him next year. You got Joe Flacco on a 1-year deal. You got Kenny Pickett probably on a 1-year deal. So
yeah, that's crazy.
Shador the quarterback next year.
Yeah, it says, bro, they did Cam so wrong. He ain't even get no podium interview or nothing. He was straight to Travis Hunter and the Browns trade.
I noticed that when it happened. Dude, he got to be the most non-talked about first round pick I ever seen.
Yeah.
First one pick.
It reminds you of damn Bronny James, dog. It's like Bronny come in, they didn't even talk about the first NBA pick in the draft.
They talk about
NBA draft. Yeah, you just talk about damn Bronny James all the time. But that's what the ESPN spin media do. That's what we've been trying to tell y'all out there. That's what ESPN spin and all of them do. That's why they got everybody souped up thinking that Shador was so much better than everybody in the draft. Yep. They damn near would have made you thought he was better than Travis Hunter for a minute. And I was like, oh, hell no. Y'all going too far now. We know y'all skin, but not that much.
Be honest, ain't nobody in this draft better than Travis, man.
Right. Well, yeah. Travis, hey, look, I give Travis his flowers. Travis been balling out. You ain't never heard me say nothing bad about Travis Hunter.
Hey, that guy had to be I wish I was Travis Hunter.
It's gonna be interesting to see Travis in the league too, because I mean, I know he want to play both sides, but we can be honest, he wasn't really a fierce tackler. He'll cover corner. How your body gonna hold up, because now you're gonna have to be out there trying to tackle some big boys, you know what I'm saying? And I think he's gonna be okay. I think Travis gonna be okay. I don't know what side he gonna excel on more than the other.
I think they said they're gonna play him more at receiver.
Oh, he got to get his route running up.
I think they said they're gonna play him more at receiving and sprinkle him in at cornerback. If it was me, I'd play him at corner and sprinkle him in at receiver.
That's what I would do, because I think he probably, to me, he a little bit more polished at corner.
Yeah.
If you look at a lot of Travis stuff, and I ain't gonna say a lot of it, but some of his stuff, a lot of it came off of scramble plays, deep balls downfield. Wasn't a lot of just. And he had some, don't get me wrong, one-on-one, winning off the line, boom, it's there, and a lot of it was because of Shador was under pressure, which we already said. Okay, Keandre Lambert-Smith, wide receiver out of Auburn.
Yeah, I
just
saw
the
that.
Chargers.
So,
and who did he say? Elijah who? I sure wish Elijah Roberts would have stayed in Miami. He just went. See her. Let's see her. Let's refresh this. Okay, let's see who we got.
Yeah, they've been coming in fast and furious with these picks.
Yeah.
Well, they only get 5 minutes now, so. But it's still some good players out there on the board, though.
Yeah, I mean, I like you still got Will Howard. You got Neil.
Yep.
Somebody just came off. Who the hell just came off the board? Messed up my thing.
Colin Oliver.
Okay, so you got Neil, Howard. I'm talking offensive side of the guys, ball guys. Quinn, Martinez.
They're running back for Texas Tech still on there, Tajay Brooks.
Oh yeah, you still got your boy too, Isaiah Bond.
Yep.
Didn't he run like a 4.2 or something?
Yeah, he ran like a 4.3. He tried to break the record, but it wasn't get.
Okay. Yeah.
But just let me put that back up there because that way I can.
See here.
Because they got some. I mean, you got both running back from Michigan that did pretty good still out there. If you're looking for a running back, I guess the running back position is too deep. So they just figure they can get them in later rounds.
But this is another debate here. He says, now I celebrate Travis Hunter and Cam Ward. They earned everything on merit, including earning having their jerseys retired. Shador was not the best second at Colorado. Dion figures as All-American round one. Well,
Wow.
I don't think Shador should have got his jersey retired, but I'm gonna shock a lot of people, and I'm not really big on 1-year players getting their jerseys retired. Any of them. And I know Shador and them was 2-year players, so don't get me wrong. But 1-year players, hey, I celebrate their success. But let me preface before I say that, because the game had changed so much. You're not going to have guys stay at 3 to 4 years in college.
No more. No.
So I would like if I could see a player stay at least 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, a lot of those players that you've seen that's in the Ring of Honor at these schools and stuff, most of them are at least 3-year players,
Yep.
unless something tragic happened or some things like that. And that's nothing to take away from a guy that just comes in and has a great year, 1 year. And I'm just talking about guys that transfer. I ain't talking about a guy that's been in the program. I just think the guys just respect, and I don't like to use the word respect, but it looks at it different when you just having the transfer portal. And then where does it stop? Because we'll be going saying the same thing about the next school. Oh, he only transferred in there for a year. He really baked that. Now, I will say this, with a caveat. When Cam came to Miami, he embodied the cane. You could tell like he didn't. You see some of these transfers, they really not bought into the school they had. They just there. But he bought into being a cane, and which made it special for all the Canes fans out there. So, but if I had it, I don't know if I'm big on 1-year players getting jerseys retired. That's just my opinion, though.
I don't think college players should get their jersey retired, period.
Okay.
I mean, just be honest with you. I mean, if that's the case, you got some players that go into the NFL, just like you said, you have 1 or 2 good years, and I'm gonna retire your jersey. Nah. Okay. Number 2 been around, like you said. Number 2 been around. Deion figures.
Yeah.
Like Deion had. I think people still wear number 2 at Florida State because of Deion.
Yeah.
I mean, like, or just honor the jersey like Penn State do. Penn State give the number 11 to their best defensive linebacker. And so instead of retiring it, what is it? LSU give the number 18 to their best player on 18.
Right.
That way instead of retiring it. I mean,
yeah.
Shador been there 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
Wait, what? 3-7 the first year, and then 8-3 the second year.
8-3, something like that. Yeah.
You didn't go to the playoffs. You didn't win no championship.
Right.
Retiring your jersey.
Yeah, and even when I look at the Camp thing, even though he was a Heisman finalist, led the ACC in multiple categories. You look at some of the people that had retired, like I talked about last week. You got Dan Morgan, 4-year starter, 100 tackles for 4 years in a row at the University of Miami. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's hard. Guys have seen this guy come up for 4 years. Fans got the vested interest. And I know we won't see that no more. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I just get conflicted, when I just see a guy come 1 year.
Look at your school, Miami. If they retired for all the great players that went to Miami, y'all be wearing triple numbers.
Yeah.
102, 106. I mean, come on, all them great players. Now you take some Miami. I think like and Sean Taylor, 21.
Right.
Now, you can retire that one.
Yeah, and like I said, when you see guys like that, special, tragic death, he excelled when he was at the university, but he wasn't a 1-year player though.
Yeah, he wasn't.
And then that's the thing. I'm just like, it's just like, man, I don't know. It's a little. I'm conflicted. I see why some schools do it. I think Deion probably should have left it kind of how it was, because I think more when Rasham Salam got his jersey retired, it was after the tragic death and of him, the event that happened in his life. And I just think that it gets a little tricky because, like I said, I can see why people say Cordell should have had his jersey retired. If you're going to retire your son's jersey, you should go back and retire Cordell. And then somebody kept saying, in my inbox again, well, Deion doesn't make the decision. I said, come on, man. Now, I said, look, now the AD, of course, probably makes the decision or whatever. But we know Deion got sway. Don't try to just play us like if Deion said, hey, retire my son jersey and Cordell jersey, I feel more comfortable that they wouldn't have did it.
And
I mean, come on. Like
when they decided to retire his jersey, was that when talks of him leaving?
Oh, sure. We got some Canes coming off the board again. So how about that? Let me go back and just relook. We had
but was that when he was talking about leaving, and is that when they were talking Deion? Because they were saying that he was going to leave Colorado to go coach somewhere else.
Well, no, I think they did that after he had already signed his contract.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got Francisco Malunoa, linebacker. Hey, man, I'm happy for Francisco. He went to the Jets, got an opportunity to make that squad. Francisco, guys know, down there in Coral Gables, came up off got it out the mud. Happy for him, man. So we got some coming off this round here. Man, what your Penn State out there doing?
We still sitting on 3.
Oh shit! I think we passed you up, Luke. We got 4 off the board now, man.
No, we didn't have too many coming out this year. A lot of them stayed. A lot of them stayed this year. Like the 2 running backs, Aller.
Yeah.
I think Carter was like the only one on defense. Ty Warren, he came out. So we're gonna have a lot of now next year's draft is gonna be a lot of Penn State players in it. So hopefully they can get in the draft and make waves, but I think they pushing for that national title right now.
Yeah, so we got Kane family out there. We still got Martinez. We know that. That's the next available Kane. Second next available Kane, Tyler Barron. They got him ranked 20th best overall.
That's the end, right? The edge rusher.
Edge rushers. Yeah, edge rusher. Yeah. So that's let's see what's going on. And then we don't.
Johnny just texted me, told me quit getting my knowledge off the college football game.
Oh Lord. Tell Johnny, man, look, you got to worry about nail polish boy out there. You got to worry about them and him running around like his head cut off, and he out there spinning. Right, Caleb Williams, boy, he'd be running in circles out there. I said, man, what is this dude out here doing out here? He just running around in circles.
Yeah, he still think he in college and make plays like this. It's the NFL, man. NFL.
So yeah, we got Pittsburgh on the clock. All you Steeler fans out there, I know it's a bunch of y'all out there, and I chopped it up with a guy, which told me that early before the draft, I was asking him about the Shador and Tomlin, and he was flat out. He said, "Man, well, a lot of Steeler fans don't want him." He said, "We need defense." He said, "We'll worry about that later." And I was like, "Oh," I was shocked with just to hear that from a lot of Steeler fans was coming in my inbox telling me that they didn't. They said, "Now if he fail, if they can get him cheap, they want him." But they want to go defense at the beginning of the draft. The Steelers did so.
So do you think they got Aaron Rodgers locked up? That's why they didn't go after a quarterback, or?
Oh man, I'm thinking. In my opinion, I think they didn't have some conversation with Aaron Rodgers. I think they didn't probably told Aaron Rodgers like, "Look, we ain't finna draft no quarterback." You know what I'm saying? So just go on and just cool on out, do your thing. We know you don't want to come to camp, kind of like last year. Yeah. We'll see you here, type thing. But I mean, I could be wrong, but. I think Aaron Rodgers gonna go on and go there because I don't think they would have because they haven't taken a quarterback out of the Steelers.
No, nope.
Yeah. I don't think they would have held out this long, and kind of had a ideal that he wasn't coming to camp. I think he'd have probably gave them some assurances behind the scenes that I'll be there.
Yeah,
they'd be wrong.
They didn't drafted a defensive lineman, a running back, and an edge rusher.
Yeah, so they didn't win defense.
Yeah.
I told him about the Steelers. I was telling the guy, and I said that the problem I got with the Steelers is that they still stuck in the defensive first mentality. And I'm like, man, the game to change, man. Y'all
Yeah,
need, y'all need a. That's why I think where did old boy out of Chip Kelly going to did he go to the Raiders
he went
as
to
an
the Raiders.
OC? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
think
went
they're
to
going
the
to be a
Raiders.
lot better, man, because Chip Kelly is an offensive mind.
Yeah.
Not a great head coach,
Um,
but a great offensive mind. See what he did with Ohio State. He really opened up the
yeah.
offense. So I'm thinking that's what Mike Tomlin needs. He needs an OC that's going to be like, look, man, we need to change this around and run this a little bit different. You still running stuff like we back in the 90s.
70s. Yeah.
Yeah, you said
We back in
70s.
the 70s.
I say 70s.
They ain't running wing T and
Right.
run the ball, run the ball, run the ball,
Yeah.
and pass it
So,
when you got to. But I think they're gonna open it up this year. I mean, they went and got DK. You got Kenny Pickett.
but I keep hearing Kenny Pickett go get traded.
They got Pickett.
I keep hearing he gonna be gone.
Pickens. So I
Pickens,
mean,
yeah.
Pickens. And then you got the running back from Iowa. So and Warren. So they might open it up. But they in that black and blue division with the Ravens, the Bengals, and the Browns. So, but the black and blue is in a NFC North.
I thought this was interesting. I don't think Isaiah Bond talked all week that he was going to break the record. Then ran a 4.42, while his teammate Golden Smoke quietly ran a 4.29 40. Then go at first round. A lot of talkers out there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm saying sometimes, man, I keep trying to tell people, man, when you start getting into these businesses, sometimes you just got to go in, put your head down, and do what you got to do. A lot of these, especially in football, I'm telling you, you don't see a lot of these guys. They might say they stuff at the draft, but after that, you really don't hear about rookies.
No.
After the draft, you in camp. Ain't no rookies out there giving no statements and all this other stuff and all that. Yeah, unless you watching the NFL Network, but you ain't getting interviewed on ESPN and all, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
All that stuff. And it's a reason for that. And like I said, do I think some of these players, it just takes them a while to get in the system, to understand where they at, that you ain't in college no more. You ain't the big man on campus. You with grown men.
Yep.
They're gonna snatch you by your collar and say, hey man.
They want to get paid.
Yeah.
They trying to get paid too.
Right.
They want playoff checks.
Yeah. Right. They ain't up for no bull crap of you running around just popping your gums. These some grown men. They out here got to support families. They got kids. They can give a damn about your TikTok and Instagram and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And Juju Smith-Schuster.
Right.
The hard way.
Right. Oh man, this is it's like Dion isn't respected the institution and the tradition of Colorado. What it say about you when you your own alma mater is a welcome like Dion at FSU. Contrast Michael Irvin is beloved. Yeah, I don't. You know what? Somebody get in the chat. Tell me what's going on with Dion in Florida State, because that was my era. I used to watch a lot of Dion back then, and I remember when it was talks about people wanted Norvell going and Dion over at Florida State. Yeah. And I was just like, man, I don't see that. I don't think they want Dion. But I don't know what the riff, or is there a riff? I mean, somebody could put in the comment if they know with Dion in Florida State. But because
I thought they said when right before Dion went to Jackson State, he said he would go coach Florida State, but Florida State didn't want him because they said he didn't have no coaching experience. That's what I've always heard. But
they weren't wrong by saying that.
No, they wasn't.
I mean, they weren't wrong. And then it's a reason why he wound up at Colorado, because he couldn't get. He was coming in and they was trying to push for him, like ESPN spin. Remember they telling you when old boy got fired, he should have went to Texas A&M. They trying to push him in the SEC, and I'm like, he'll get his ass ate up over there. He ain't got the coaching experience.
They tried to put him on the Cowboys when the Cowboys were looking for a coach.
Right, yeah. Right. So
wanted to put him there.
That's what I'm saying. They try to push these boys through. And that's the thing that it's like, so Florida State wasn't wrong by saying that, but I think it's something else going on with the Florida State thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's gotta be.
I don't know. I'm gonna talk to some of my boys that
It
know.
might be because he's taking all their recruits.
Well,
I mean, look at Travis Hunter. He was supposed to go to Florida State first, and Deion plucked him.
they said Deion got Travis Hunter involved doing some vindictive stuff against FSU. Oh yeah, that was So yeah. But even then, I would say this, man. In the recruiting game, it's a dirty game, no matter who do it. You know what I'm saying?
Who do it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
guys get behind the scenes and they get to talking crazy, and you get, it's just some crazy stuff. So I would say Deion ain't the first person that probably then pulled a recruit on a dirty path, and it won't be the last.
Nope.
Yeah.
Look at
But all right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up for today. I tell you what, guys, I appreciate everybody coming in. Also, Be It Bigger Than E will be on tomorrow, covering all the Canes that got covered. We'll be covering their draft slots. We'll be covering their contribute to the Canes. So tap in with me and Bigger Than E tomorrow. Welcome. Thank my guest Larry for coming on the show, Luke. And
having me on.
Once again, if you subscribe to the channel, and we are out of here.